Every morning, David awoke to a world shrouded in a thick fog of forgotten memories. His consciousness was a blank canvas, wiped clean in the realm of each night's oblivion. He opened his eyes to a room that was simultaneously familiar and alien, a space he recognized but couldn't remember ever seeing before. A silent scream echoed in the chambers of his mind, a scream that belonged to the ghosts of his forgotten past. His routine was a meticulous dance through the fragments of a life he could no longer recall. Photographs on the walls stared back at him, capturing moments he couldn't place. Faces in the mirror seemed to belong to strangers, and the letters neatly arranged on the dresser might as well have been written in an alien language. In the absence of a personal history, David lived on the fringes of a mystery that wrapped itself around him like a cocoon. A calendar on the kitchen wall was his only guide, each day marked in bold red strokes. But even the calendar couldn't bridge the gaps between the days, the weeks, the years. It was merely a temporal anchor in the vast sea of his forgotten existence. David had no recollection of family, friends, or foes. His reflection in the mirror betrayed nothing but a vacant stare. He didn't know if he was a man who once knew love, or a phantom condemned to wander through the void of his own amnesia. Each day he found a letter on the kitchen table, a letter from himself, written the night before, a note from a David who ceased to exist with the dawn. These letters were his breadcrumbs, the only traces of a man who lived in perpetual erasure. They were desperate pleas to solve the riddle of his own existence. I wake up with no memory, and the shadows of my past dance on the edges of consciousness, elusive specters taunting me with fragments of a life I cannot reclaim. I am a prisoner of the present, a wanderer in a maze of my own making. I must find the key, unlock the doors of remembrance, or risk becoming a ghost haunting the corridors of my own existence. With each passing day, the letters grew more urgent, the handwriting more frantic. David sensed an impending doom, a darkness creeping through the recesses of his forgotten soul. He had become a captive of his own mind, a hostage to the enigma of his own identity. As he ventured into the unknown, following the clues left by his former self, David felt the presence of something sinister lurking in the gaps between his memories. Shadows whispered secrets he couldn't decipher, and the air crackled with an electric tension. The forgotten echo was a tale written in the language of disquiet, a narrative woven from the threads of a memory lost but not forgotten. David's journey was a descent into the abyss of his own mind, a relentless pursuit of the elusive truth that danced just beyond the edge of his fractured consciousness. David's quest for self-discovery led him through a labyrinth of memories that crumbled like ancient ruins with each step. The letters, once guides through the maze of forgotten moments, now read like desperate pleas from a soul teetering on the precipice of madness. In the midst of his search, David uncovered a hidden chamber in the recesses of his mind, a room cloaked in shadows where the echoes of his past lay dormant. Fragments of memories clawed at the edges of his consciousness, begging to be acknowledged. Faces, places, emotions. They were the ghosts of a life that resisted the shackles of oblivion. The urgency in David's letters intensified, mirroring the mounting dread in his heart. The whispers in the shadows grew louder, morphing into ghostly apparitions that danced at the edge of his vision. His own reflection became a spectral entity, a phantom tethered to the remnants of his forgotten existence. One fateful night, guided by the cryptic notes from his former self, David stumbled upon a revelation. In the forgotten recesses of his mind, a truth both chilling and malevolent unfolded. The creature that haunted his memories wasn't a mere figment of amnesia. It was an entity born from the depths of his subconscious fears. As David delved deeper, he realized that every forgotten face, every nebulous emotion had coalesced into a sinister force that thrived on his uncertainty. The creature fed on the fragments of his shattered memories, growing stronger with each passing day. It had become a manifestation of his own fears, a living embodiment of the terror that lurked in the forgotten corners of his mind. The climax of his journey brought him face to face with the creature, a grotesque amalgamation of distorted memories and spectral tendrils. Its eyes held the reflection of every forgotten face, and its voice echoed the whispers of David's fragmented past. The room, once a sanctuary for the lost memories, transformed into a battleground. David fought against the encroaching darkness, armed with the fragments of his own identity. The letters, his only allies, now glowed with an ethereal light as he wielded them like a shield against the advancing shadows. In a final desperate confrontation, David unraveled the truth. The creature was a manifestation of his deepest fears, a specter born from the void of his forgotten past. As the realization dawned, the creature wailed, a sound that echoed through the labyrinth of David's mind. In the aftermath of the battle, David stood amidst the ruins of his memories, a survivor of the tempest that threatened to consume him. The creature, now a dissipating specter, uttered a haunting farewell, a whisper that sent shivers down David's spine. But the victory was bittersweet. The revelation left scars on the fabric of his being. As he pieced together the fragments of his past, David understood the cost of unraveling the enigma that shrouded his existence. The memories, once elusive, now lay bare before him, exposing wounds that time had failed to heal. The room, once a sanctuary, transformed into a mausoleum of forgotten dreams. David, haunted by the specter of his own fears, faced a choice: to embrace the abyss of his past or retreat into the safety of amnesia. In the silence that followed, David made his decision. With a heavy heart, he chose the embrace of oblivion, allowing the shadows to reclaim the fragments of his shattered identity. The labyrinth of memories closed its doors, sealing away the horrors that lurked within. As the echoes of the creature's wail faded into the void, David retreated into the solace of forgetting. The room, once a battlefield, became a tomb, and the shadows swallowed the remnants of a man who dared to confront the frozen fear within. The tale of the forgotten echo whispered through the corridors of time, a cautionary legend of a man who sought to unveil the secrets buried in the recesses of his own mind, only to be consumed by the abyss that beckoned beyond the veil of forgotten memories.